My name is Ainur Lelia. I have read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It is copyright 1936. Its genre is science nonfiction and it has 224 pages. One of the most groundbreaking guidebooks of all of the time, How to Win Friends and Influence People will teach us about fundamental technique into handling people, the 6 ways to make people like you, the 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking, the 9 ways to change people without arousing resentment, and more other content. So, it provides many examples of technique you can use to win friends, influence people, and turn them around to your way of thinking. This book is really unique and infallible. Dale Carnegie gives the real-life example about a famous celebrity and successful people and used this technique in their life, and how he generated technique in eponym book to real-life experience, and he gives a lot of suggestions use this. He writes, if you want to gather honey, don't kick over. On May 7, the most sensational manhunt New York City had ever known had come to its climax. After a week of search to gun Crowley, the killer, the gunman who didn't smoke or drink, was at bay, trapped in his sweetheart's apartment on West End Avenue. 150 policemen and detectives laid siege to his top-floor hideaway. They chopped holes in the roof. They tried to smoke out Crowley, the chopped killer, with tear gas. Then they mounted their machine guns on surrounding buildings, and more than hours one of the New York's fine residential areas reverberated with the crack of pistol fire and the rat-tat-tat of the machine guns. Crowley, crouching behind an overstuffed chair, fired essentially at the police. 10,000 excited people watched the battle. Nothing like it had ever been seen before on the sidewalk of New York. When Crowley was captured, police commissioner declared that the two-gun this farmhouse was one of the most dangerous criminals ever encountered in the history of New York. He will kill, said the commissioner at the drop of the feather. But how did two-gun Crowley regard himself? We know because while the police were firing into his apartment, he wrote a letter addressed to whom it many concerned, and as he wrote, the blood flowing from his wound left a crimson trail on the paper. In the letter, Crowley said, under my coat is a very hard, but a kind one that will do nobody any harm. A short time before this, Crowley had been having a necking party with his girlfriend on a country road out of Long Island. Suddenly, a policeman walked up to the car and said, let me see your license. Without saying a word, Crowley drew his gun and cut the policeman down with a shower of lead. As the dying officer fell, Crowley leaped out of the car, grabbed the officer's revolver, and fired another bolt into the first body. And that was a killer who said, under my coat is a very hard, but a kind one that will nobody any harm. Crowley was sentenced to the electric chair. When he arrived at the dead house in Sing Sing, he said, this is what I get for killing people. No, he said, this is what I get for defending myself. The point of the story is this: two-gun Crowley didn't blame himself for anything. There are things that how to win friends and influence people. It is a very easy to comprehend, and it is also easy to read because the writer using a simple description and good take the time. Then I would give this book 5 stars. So I really suggest you to take your time to read this book because it is a really great book. Using this book, You can find many techniques or many information that you can apply in your personal life, your career, in your relationship with your friends or your partner. If you haven't this book, you can find this book in your nearest Gramedia, or you can visit in your library. Thank you very much.